Isn't it crazy? About 2000 years ago, there lived a man claiming to be the Son of God. He did all kinds of weird things, like preaching at the temple when he was only 12 years old, turning water into wine, and convincing 12 strange guys to follow him wherever he went. This man also healed the sick, blind, and broken, and he multiplied 5 fish as well as 2 loaves of bread to feed 5,000 different people, excluding women and children, of course, because the Bible refers mainly to men, and he even raised the guy from the dead. That's not even the craziest part of it all. This Jesus character, calling himself the Christ, went and unjustly died on a cross, apparently to redeem us so God would forgive the sins of the world. Why would God send his only son so that he can be just some sacrificial atonement for your sins? But isn't that the whole point? To help make sense of this, we need to understand the whole story. So let's take a deeper look into it. We have all made mistakes. In fact, that is exactly what is implied in the phrase, "I'm only human." Throughout history, there has never been one single person who can honestly admit that they have lived a sinless life. That seems like an impossible task to complete, to live without sin, that now is. But things don't seem so impossible when we're talking about God. It was clear that the Lord had some sort of plan all along. He even revealed glimpses of his plan to prophets like Isaiah and Daniel centuries before the eventual climax of the story. We know that Jesus' birth was special since we don't exactly have virgin births here on earth on a regular basis. Throughout his life, there was something different about this man. I mean, he was calming storms and walking on water like it was literally a walk in a park for him. Thus far, this seems like a rather remarkable and interesting story, but that wasn't even the main plot. No, things only started getting real on Palm Sunday. As he rode on his donkey through the streets of Jerusalem, something was up. 2 days before Passover, after upsetting a few scribes and priests, a plan was set in motion to arrest Jesus. They even got one of his closest friends involved. A day or two passed and Jesus instituted the Lord's Supper. After this, he went and prayed, and mere moments before he was arrested and betrayed by Judas Iscariot, we see that he was very scared. But still, in the midst of his fear, he asked that God's will be done. He was physically beaten, betrayed, mocked, and sentenced to death by crucifixion, all in God's plan. Jesus died in Golgotha alongside 2 criminals on a cross. This is a very tragic tale, if only it was the end. 3 days had passed, and it would be seen that Jesus' tomb was empty, as in there was no body to be found. Only the words, "He is risen." But how could this be? I mean, a resurrection. That's impossible, right? This was God's plan all along. You see that God intended to release us from the hold that death had on us through means of his one and only Son. He showed his love for us all, not only in this crucifixion, but a resurrection, a restoration of our relationship with him through a miracle only one being was capable of. This is the story of why we need Jesus Christ, the Word that became flesh. He lived the life that we should have lived and died the death that we deserved. 2000 years ago, there was this man who was the Son of God. This Jesus, who was the Christ, went and died on a cross in our place to redeem us so God would forgive the sins of the world. Now that might sound crazy, but it's true. And that's the gospel that we as Christians believe in. Thank you for watching. If you would like to continue watching, check out this video next. If you enjoyed this type of content, I would highly recommend that you subscribe to my channel and join my community here on YouTube. I really hope you learned something today and that I inspired you to go make a difference in the world. Have an awesome day and God bless.